What's up, y'all? Dude, I don't even know, I don't even know where to start, honestly. So as you can see, I'm in a completely different setup, completely different set. This is still the most vulnerable player. I'm just it just looks I'm sure totally different for you guys. I'm literally still in shock right now. um Yeah, man. I live in Austin, Texas now. I literally been here for the last what day? What day is today? So it's Thursday. I've been here almost. It's gonna be a week in 2 days. So I've been here for like 5 days roughly, and so far, man, it's treated me well. I'm obviously still getting used to everything. Getting used to being in my own spot. Being in my new apartment. Getting used to my new job, which I'll kind of get into in a little bit. It has been quite the change in a very small amount of time. I'm just going to catch you guys up today. I think there's so much to talk about. This is my first podcast in my new studio/apartment. Like I said, I'm still so in awe right now. Still so everything is kind of like just kind of it's finally kind of hitting me that I'm in a new city for good. Oh, I think my zipper was down. That's super embarrassing. Sorry. Anyways, but yeah, I literally just set everything up for the podcast. Before I had the futon here, or before I had like a little sofa here, which I moved right there. But I just figured that the two seats, it just makes for a better setup. And also it's what I'm used to back home. So I literally just configured everything. It took me about an hour and a half to figure out what everything was what the setup was gonna be. I moved the lights around like 60 times, moved the camera around a lot. This is probably not gonna be the traditional camera setup for when I have a guest, but I finally got to a place where I actually don't mind this setup. Obviously, I think to the normal average person who's like kind of just not super into like production and videography, it probably looks pretty normal to you guys, but it's gonna take me a little bit getting used to. It's not the most obviously ideal space, but I feel like I'm making it work as best as I can. Obviously I have the lighting. Either way, it's still gonna be, I feel like, a great show. Obviously I just have to kind of get used to just this new space. It's different. It's more wider. It's not as long, so I don't have as much depth to work with. But nonetheless, I think it's gonna turn out pretty well, man. I wasn't super nervous about it. Not gonna lie, that's one thing that was like one of the main things on my mind while I was coming over here was, damn, like how's a podcast gonna change, you know? Because this is something I spent the last 2 years of my life doing. A big part of why I did come over here was really just expand my network and really just be able to, just test the waters in a bigger market, man. I definitely think that El Paso has so many amazing things to offer, but I was ready for a change, man. And this is definitely the change I needed. Obviously, when I was coming over here, like I said, it was just, I was a little nervous about how everything was going to change with the podcast, but I love this thing so much and I have a passion for it, truly do. And nothing was going to stop me from doing this. So I'm glad I got this set up, man. And we're going to see where it takes us. Already have like a few guests that I'm going to schedule here pretty soon. So really amazing guest, and yeah, man, it's been quite the ride, dude. So yeah, I'm gonna take you guys through what the hell's gone on for the past month or so. Let's start why I moved to Austin. I kind of mentioned it briefly, but being that I'm here now, I'm kind of getting a better perspective on everything. Main reason I moved to Austin, a couple of different reasons. First of all, I'm the type of person that I struggle with doing the same thing for a long time. Not that I can't be consistent about something, but I don't know. I just always feel the need to switch things up very often, whether that's a job, whether that's hobbies, anything. the podcast is probably the longest thing that I've ever stuck to, besides basketball. By the way, if you notice my voice a little different, I don't know. I feel like my voice is different. I just got off like the fucking plague for the last 2 weeks, which it felt like the plague, dude, because this flu that hit me was, oh my God. I'll talk about it a little bit more, but dude, I was so freaking sick, man. The sickest I can ever remember being in my entire life. And so, yeah, it sidelined me for like 2 weeks, and I'm barely starting to feel like normal again. So if you notice, like, I feel like my voice, I don't have, like, it's not as strong. I definitely feel like it's a little bit harder to speak, but I don't know, maybe it's just my head, but I feel like I do sound a little bit different. So if you're curious about that, that's probably why. But yeah, dude, so one of the main reasons was obviously like I just needed to switch things up, man. And after I came back from Arizona, I was in El Paso for about a year. I was 21 at that time. Moved to Thailand for a little bit, did the whole like YouTube vlogs, everything. And then that's when I came back. And then I went to Canada for a few months. So like 2022 was a year where like I spent probably like half of the year just gone. And then I came back in 2023. And yeah, man, ever since then, that's kind of when I started the podcast. And it led me to 2025, man, 2 years later. And what I was able, I feel, to accomplish in El Paso was something I'm very proud of. And I definitely met so many amazing people that just people that I never thought I would be able to like network with. And I think the community that I was able to kind of build alongside with my friend James as well, it was just something special, and I'd never experienced that in my life. Just being able to kind of go anywhere in El Paso and just know someone and say hi to someone, and just kind of having so many different connections that I had at my disposal. Like I was not really used to that. And so that's something that I will never take for granted in El Paso. And that's something that the last 2 years kind of brought me, man. And it was an amazing experience. At the same time, I was helping my brother and sister-in-law open up a really amazing bar and food truck park, which I spent a majority of my time doing alongside the podcast. And being able to start something so special with them was truly amazing, and I'm going to miss working alongside them all the time. That's one thing I do miss is just Need Collective. And I was able to kind of take on a more promotional role there alongside being like the bar manager, and really just threw some pretty fucking badass parties during last summer, which I'm sure if you guys went, you guys would agree. It was a fun time. And through that, just through the service industry, met so many fucking dope people there. And so, dude, when I look back at my time in El Paso, I'm like, it's hard to believe that like it was in 2 years, because it just happened so fast, and so much happened, you know. I think anybody that knows me knows that like the type of growth that me personally I was able to experience in those 2 years was something like really, really dope. I'm super appreciative of that. And man, it's definitely something that was kind of hard to walk away from. Honestly, the first place that was on my mind was New York. I had been wanting to move to New York City for a while, just because I love the city life, dude. Like it always, anytime I'm in any city, I feel like just a certain, it makes me feel a certain way. It makes me feel inspired. I love the fast life. I love being able to walk everywhere. Anybody that knows me, I always fucking talk about that, like just walkability, which El Paso is probably the least walkable city ever. New York City was the top of my list, but I kind of had to scale it back because the change from El Paso to New York City and just the culture shock I was probably going to experience out there. And also the network that was pretty much non-existent over there. I don't think I know anybody off the top of my head personally from New York. So that was a little bit, that was pretty ambitious. So I kind of had to find like a happy medium. And Austin, I felt like was right there for me, like as far as being pretty close proximity to home, not too far. My network here was actually, now that I'm here, I'm actually surprised at how many people actually do know in Austin, and how many mutual friends that I've been able to kind of network with already. I think I chose the right place for sure. As far as in Texas, when it comes to like the whole content creation world, the influencer podcasting, I feel like Austin is probably like the best place in Texas for that. And so, and also I wasn't down to go to Miami, I mean, maybe one day, but first of all, it's super far. And second, I don't know if I'm ready for that Miami lifestyle. I don't think it's me. So Austin, dude, I think that was like the first option besides obviously New York for me. And yeah, dude, it was something I had in my mind for a while. Probably I would say at the start of 2024 was like, all right, I'm going to set myself like a time frame. Like by next year, next February, next March, like I'm going to be getting ready to move, Now that I look back at it, like I feel like it's definitely warranted to give myself some credit for that, because I'm very hard on myself, y'all, and like I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to that. Sometimes I just kind of don't sit back and realize like, damn, I did make some good shit happen, And yeah, dude, I look back at it and I made it happen, dude. Like it was always at the forefront of my mind. Like, all right, let's go to Austin, like Austin. And so I would say I started ramping up the amount of money I was saving. Saved a good amount of money, not as much as I wanted to. If you're curious about how much money I saved up, I'll definitely get into it, or I'll definitely share that with you if you just DM me. But it's just, I don't want to go into super details just because it's not that important. But I did save money like all of last year, just so I can have some wiggle room to kind of try to find a job and make sure I can make some rent the first couple months. Definitely didn't save as much money as I wanted to, and right now, not gonna lie, like I was kind of going through like my savings and just my finances, and definitely should have saved more money. Because right now, like I'm good. I have a job now, and it's gonna be fine. But I was just like, damn, like I'm cutting it close. But nah, everything's gonna work out. But anyways, yeah, 2024, save some money. That was like the main objective. I really didn't think much of anything else until January. Yeah, I would say January is when everything just ramped up for me. And it was kind of weird, the timing, because I would say like it's February already, but the beginning of the year, and December, like so many good things were happening, dude. Like, not gonna lie, like I remember thinking back in December of this past year, 2024, like there was a period where I was like, dude, so much shit is actually going right, and like just different opportunities to do like just dope shit. And I remember thinking to myself like damn, like I'm so blessed for these opportunities, dude. Like it just seemed like everything was clicking. And that's what kind of made this move a little bit harder towards the end, because I was like, damn, like there's a lot of good things happening for me here in El Paso. My family obviously didn't want me to go. They knew it was probably the best move for me, but obviously your family, they don't want to see you leave. And especially my brother and sister-in-law with Neep Collective, they were just super adamant about, obviously they knew it was good for me to kind of venture off and do my thing, but they knew that Neep has a really good opportunity to grow, and they see an opportunity for me to grow with it. And so that was something we had talked about and something I was thinking about the whole time, But when it came down to it, I would really just chalk it up to a feeling I had, like there was a lot of things pointing me to kind of stay in El Paso and make things work there. But at the end of the day, like I was just always left with this feeling of, no, something is telling me that I need to go out here. And yeah, dude, for whatever it is, like I followed that feeling, and starting in January, I was just looking at apartments. Really, I was looking at jobs, and it's crazy because like my idea was like I'm probably not gonna have a job until I come out here, like move out here. But the way it worked out, dude, like God works in mysterious ways, and I started applying for jobs, and I was just doing it just to test the market, see what I would get back. And then before you know it, dude, at the end of January, like I was planning to move in March, mind you, and it's barely February, you know. I was planning to move in March, and I'm applying for jobs in January, and like I'm not expecting to hear back from anybody, you know, just because I don't live in Austin. Coming out here, like I feel like I could have done a couple different things for work, because obviously the podcast is something I do full time for the most part, but it's not something I'm currently making a whole lot of money off of. So obviously I had to find a job out here, and one of the main like options for me was the service industry, just because I have so much experience in that. So I was looking at different bars, hospitality groups, which are just kind of groups with different restaurants and bars. I looked into different like marketing jobs, and then, but for the most part, I knew my best bet was probably going to be the service industry, whether that's bartending, serving. And so I was applying to a bunch of like really well-known spots here in Austin. I hear back from a hospitality group. I will not name them because they didn't fucking hire me, which I have a really good job now, which I'll get into. But I was salty just because I know it's like a really like pretty dope brand here in Austin. I don't know. Anytime I don't get hired anymore, I take it fucking personal. I know I shouldn't, but that should piss me off. Anyways, I get a text for an interview, open interviews on Tuesday. Mind you, it's Saturday, so Tuesday and Wednesday they're gonna hold open interviews. I'm pretty sure they don't know I live in El Paso, so, and also it's not like a personal interview, it's just open interviews. So I'm like, shit, dude, like, oh, like I'm not gonna make it, you know, like I can't. Yeah, I wasn't planning to go until like March, so but then I was just thinking, I was like, dude, like this is the first time I actually hear back from anybody. Like I think I have to go, you know. I would have to go before I move anyways, just to scope out apartments and jobs potentially. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, dude. I should go, you know. So I reach out to one of my really amazing friends. I consider him like my big brother here in Austin. His name's Gabe. Reach out to them. They're always super cool with me staying with them. Which I'm indebted to them for life. I reach out to them, you know, I'm gonna come down. Probably gonna drive down on Monday, hit that interview probably Tuesday or Wednesday. But then they tell me, they're like, dude, there's a fucking snowstorm like coming in on Monday night. So it probably wouldn't be a good idea for you to come, like drive at least on Monday or Tuesday. Maybe you can come down Wednesday and but I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna make that interview if I leave on Wednesday. So dude, I was like, I literally set my mind on not going. I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna go. Damn, like, yeah, it's a really good opportunity, but you know, I'm not gonna drive through this like snowstorm, dude. Like, I have a fucking Honda Civic. I'm not gonna risk it, you know. My car is actually, it's a pretty solid car, but I've had some issues with in the past. So I was like, fuck, dude, it sucks, but you know, I'm just gonna wait it out. There'll be another opportunity. And then a fucking another text message. This one is a one-on-one personal interview from the job I actually got hired from. I'm like, dude, this one's on Thursday. So right after, it's like consecutive days. So I'm like, dude, holy shit. Like, these are two opportunities that I didn't have before, you know. Like, I don't think I can miss up. Like, I don't think I could pass up this opportunity just because I haven't heard anything back, you know. This is the first two jobs I heard from. They're probably hiring for the season, so who knows? They might just hire everybody, and a lot of these places probably won't be hiring like in a couple months, you know, when I decide to come out. So I was like, fuck it, dude, like I need to go. So I'm like, I kind of do a little bit more research on the snowstorm. I mapped it out to where if I leave super early on Monday, the snowstorm isn't going to hit until like Monday night. So honestly, it ended up working out perfectly. So I was like, fuck it, dude. Like, I'm going to go Monday. Left Monday. Got there Monday night. Honestly, the snowstorm was bad. It was cold as shit, but it wasn't anywhere near as bad as they made it out to be. So I ended up staying in Austin. I couldn't really do much Tuesday because everything was iced out. So I waited till Wednesday, hit that first open interview first thing in the morning. Dude, it was like a fucking 5-minute sit down. It wasn't an interview. It was just like kind of basic qualifications. And I was hoping that they would hit me back. But now that I look back at it, dude, like that interview, it just seemed like, I don't know. It seemed like they already kind of had an idea of who they wanted to hire. And it was just kind of like, just kind of doing their due diligence. So I never heard back from them. So I guess the rest of the day, I actually walked in a few other spots and I got another interview with another bar on West 6th. I was just kind of walking into different places and just seeing if they were hiring. A couple places took my resume. There was a really dope speakeasy bar, that, was super excited to have an opportunity with, but it didn't pan out. But I was really just banking on the Thursday interview, my one-on-one, which was with High Hospitality. So High Hospitality, if you have not heard of the restaurant Uchi, it is a very famous restaurant here in Austin. Founder is Chef Tyson Cole. He's super well known. It's a high-end Japanese restaurant here in Austin. So I actually work for Uchiba, which is kind of like a sister restaurant to Uchiba and Uchiko, which they're all very high-end Japanese restaurants, but the one I work at personally is Uchiba, which is downtown Austin. And that one is super dope, man, because it's still kind of high-end, but it has more of like a bar feel, like a more cocktail lounge feel. It's a little bit more casual, but super high-end still. And yeah, man, I ended up getting 2 interviews that day, the first and the second interview, and they wanted to set up a third interview that probably sometime that next week. And honestly, everything was banking on that opportunity, you know, like who knows what would have happened if I didn't get hired by that job. I'm sure other opportunities would have arose, but so I ended up leaving Sunday. My mindset going back was like, all right, I have a pretty good shot at getting hired. They just want to set up a third interview. I'm pretty confident if I do well in the third interview, they're going to hire me. So I'm just waiting on this third interview, man. I'm waiting for this, them to schedule it. And really, as soon as they hire me, dude, like I'm going to apply for this apartment and I'm out this bitch, you know? And dude, literally like that, it happened like that. I probably waited about a week for them to schedule it. I did that interview. They called me like an hour after, like, we want to hire you. So I was like, holy shit, dude, like this is real, you know? Like that's when everything was kind of set in stone, started rolling. And then the hardest part, or the most stressful part, I would say, was the fucking apartment. Just the process. Like, I'm pretty sure the process I went through was probably harder than most apartments for whatever reason, but they just made it kind of difficult. Anyways, ended up kind of working out. It took about 2 weeks for the apartment application to kind of go through. Before even getting approved for the apartment, I already set a moving date, like for my mom and dad to come and help me move. Like, we're like, all right, let's leave on Friday. Hadn't even gotten approved until like that day, dude. That day that we left. So the next day we moved in. Long story short, I'm fucking here in Austin. And yeah, man, I'm settled into this apartment. I know my mom and dad probably won't see this, but dude, like, I rarely get emotional on this fucking podcast, dude. But yeah, dude, I just I don't know why I'm getting emotional right now, but oh shit, dude, my parents, man, especially because I know like people like I have a lot of friends that don't come from the best households, and dude, I literally could not have done this shit without them, man. I guess I'm getting a little bit emotional because I haven't had a chance to kind of like process everything. They helped me move in. Literally, my dad like helping me carry shit in. My mom helping me like just make this place feel like home. Um, my dad helping me put shit up, make the bed, and just every fucking thing, dude. Like, I literally wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for them. Sorry. Crying, throwing up. Oh, fuck, dude. Sorry, guys. I don't usually do that. Like I said, I would reiterate again, I wouldn't be here without them. I owe the world to them, you know. This past December when I turned 20, it happened to be when I turned 25. Like, obviously, I've always wanted to do amazing things for my parents and give back, but it didn't really hit me until a couple months ago where I was like, dude, like, I want them to just be able to sit back and just kind of look at what they've done and just enjoy it. And I want to give them the world. And I'm sure any person who loves their parents like that wants to do the same. And yeah, dude, it's something I can never repay them for what they've been able to, the position they've been able to put me in and my siblings. And like I said, I won't be able to repay them, but I will do my best to kind of make them proud and kind of just kind of do all that I can for them. You know, I think that's one of the reasons I want to be out here, is to kind of make big things happen and kind of grow into the person that I know I can be and fulfill that potential I know I have. That's kind of tying back to why I came out here, you know, and I just want to do it. One of the main reasons at the forefront of my mind is for them and the rest of my family, you know. And yeah, dude, it's just, like I said, they helped me so much, and I'm just so grateful because I know that not everybody really has a family that they can lean on like that, and parents that just care so much and would do anything for their children and put them in position to succeed. So it was fun, man. It was a good trip. I'm so happy that, obviously, I wish my siblings could have made it too, and my nephew, but the fact that they made the trip out here, and it's not like they're young, dude. I mean, they're not old either. They're kind of hitting their 60s, which they still go harder than me, dude. Like, they rage. They're the most fun parents ever. But they didn't have to make the trip, you know. Like, they could have been like, you know, like, you want to go out there, it's you're gonna figure it out, you know. But dude, they came out here, they helped me move in. We had an amazing time, dude. I got to spend time with my parents like that, and alone, that I haven't in a while. Being able to have that time with them and just kind of cracking up at my dad, just kind of helping me put shit up, and him kind of getting frustrated, and just little shit like that, dude, you take for granted. And I would say we started at like 10 a.m. I thought we were going to be done like 4 p.m., dude. We ended up getting done at like 12 a.m. It was just a grind. We ended up getting Whatabeezy at the end of the night, and it was a good day, man. And they ended up taking off that morning after. Yeah, nonetheless, dude, we're fucking here. We're in Austin. Like I said, it's going to take me a few days, a few weeks probably to get settled, like fully settled in mentally. Physically, I'm settled in. I love this spot. I love everything about it, dude. Like, I love the convenience. I'm only like 15 minutes from downtown. So I fucking love it, dude. One thing that I'm so grateful for as well, I posted that I was here in Austin to let me know if anybody that I should connect with, and y'all did your thing, man. You reached, so many people reached out and helped me like just get connected with some really dope people here in Austin. And so it's just shit like that, dude. When you think about social media, like the power of it, that's one of the best, like most positive things you can get from it is like, dude, people just were helping me out, like just helping me make good connections here and helping me kind of just get myself settled in and make myself feel a little bit more comfortable. And I'm just looking forward to meeting so many amazing people here. Whoever listens, or my best friends, my good friends that watch this, if you guys are watching this and you come to Austin and you do not hit me up, I'm going to be so fucking salty and I'm going to be mad at you for a long time. So definitely hit me up whenever you're here. And dude, you guys can fucking, well, I was going to say you can crash on my couch. It's not the best couch, but I'll sleep on the couch. Y'all can have my bed. I just want you guys here, you know. I'm excited to get this thing rolling. I start work. My first day was orientation was yesterday. I'm super excited. I have to learn this fucking menu, which is basically like all Japanese ingredients. So that's gonna be a challenge. But looking forward to learning all about like Japanese cuisine because I love the Japanese culture. I always talked about opening up like an Asian-inspired, Japanese-inspired spot one day. So having this experience is going to be amazing for me. So I officially start like my first training shift next Tuesday. And so right now, man, I'm just kind of studying. I'm editing podcast. Like I said, we have more than a few guests lined up to be on this podcast here in Austin. And yeah, man, I'm interested in see where it's going to take me. And I hope you guys continue to follow my journey. Even though if you're not in Austin, if you're still in El Paso, I'm still going to do my best to stay consistent. And yeah, man, I don't think it's going to change much. I just think the setting's a little bit different, but it's still the MVP, still the most vulnerable player. As far as other things I want to cover today, I know there are probably a few of you who may be watching that have aspirations to move cities. If you're, let's just say like you're in my position in your 20s, you're single. I mean, you can be in a relationship too. Maybe you have a kid or something, but I would say specifically if you're single, no kids in your 20s, and just some advice for you if you want to move cities. First of all, understand the reasoning behind, and I think that goes for anything you pursue in life. Understand the reasoning why you want to do it and the purpose behind it. Understand the purpose of why you want to move. And if those intentions are pure and you're moving for the right reasons, you want more opportunity, you want to be in a bigger market, and you just want to switch things up, go for it, dude. Sometimes people move for the wrong reasons. If you want to move to kind of get away from certain issues or maybe things you're dealing with, if it's issues of like locality, then yeah, I think moving might help you. But if it's like internal issues you're dealing with, maybe relationships, that's going to follow you wherever you go, you know. And I think the most important thing is to kind of get to the bottom of why you're feeling that way internally. And I think you can do that anywhere, you know. I'd say if it's reasons for growth, I think the reasoning for moving to another city is just kind of putting yourself in a more of an uncomfortable position, because being uncomfortable, it allows you to solve different problems and just kind of puts your brain and puts your mind in different situations. And in turn, it just kind of allows you to kind of build different pathways, and you're provided with different experiences, man. And with those different experiences, you learn different things. It just kind of makes you a more well-rounded person. Experiencing those things allows you to kind of overcome adversity, whether that's now having to pay rent, now it's having to meet different people. Being able to overcome those things, you just kind of unlock a different version of yourself and a higher version of yourself that you wouldn't have previously unlocked if you kind of stayed in that position you were before. And so if that's the reasoning for moving, the reasons I just like kind of explained, then I think you should fucking do it, man. Do it. It's going to take some time. If I would have left like with no savings and just kind of did it, I don't think I would have been able to handle it, just because that's not how I operate, dude. Like I do handle adversity well, but one thing about me is like I have really bad anxiety. So if I can mitigate certain factors and put myself in a position to succeed, then that's what I'm going to do. But it's going to take patience, man. It's going to take a lot of hard work. It's going to take perseverance, and it's going to take a lot of reminding yourself of why you want to do it. and just kind of reinforcing that reason, because whenever you want to do something, so much is going to get in your way, whether that's friendships, relationships, work, all these different things are going to be thrown at you, and it's going to kind of, it seems like it's going to derail you from whatever path you're on. Sometimes it does, dude, but if you really want something, you're going to do everything in your power to kind of straighten yourself out and get back on that path. And so that's going to happen so many times whenever you have a goal. And in this case, if you want to move cities, there's going to be different things that are going to derail you from that. It's going to be people saying, this is probably not the best thing for you. You have good things going on here. Why would you want to move? It's going to be really hard for you to kind of get acclimated. Just a bunch of different things. Money is going to be an issue at the forefront of your mind. All of those things that are kind of popping into your mind throughout that process are just excuses that your mind is going to feed you to make you stay in that comfortable position. And yeah, it's good. It's comfortable. You're used to it. You might be doing all right. But you pushing past that and you pushing past those excuses and actually going forward with what your heart is telling you, yeah, it's probably going to be hard for a little bit. But at the end of that struggle and at the end of those obstacles, you're going to unlock a different version of yourself that you wouldn't have been able to previously if you didn't make that leap. I think you have to make that move. There's a lot of things that could have derailed me from moving to Austin and making this leap and going after this opportunity, but I stuck with it. There was a lot of distractions, like fucking going to all these Elmont shows and fucking later and spending this money on drinks and shit, and going on vacations, all those things. Yeah, they're fun, they're cool, but it definitely set me back a little bit. But I got back on track. I did the right things to make sure I was still moving towards my goal of the savings and everything like that. And once you're able to do that, it's just going to be a grind, dude, but you have to take it a step at a time. You have to save that money. Best thing I did was, this is just the way my mind works. I don't know why I've always been able to save money like this, but I keep everything in cash. Can be a little bit dicey because, keeping cash is probably not the safest thing all the time, but I keep cash because for whatever reason, I have much harder time spending cash than I do just my fucking credit card. Whenever I have shit in my credit card, dude, I just fucking swipe with no regard. And so having that cash and putting it in an envelope, I can see the progress every day, and make cash as being in the service industry. I make a lot of cash. So being able to take that money, lump sums of money, and put that in the savings, it just feels so fucking good. And being able to see that money on a daily basis, weekly basis, and count it up, it makes the process for me so much easier. So if you struggle saving, try that. That's one thing that if I didn't do that, it would have been really hard for me to save. If it's something you want to do, you might have to go alone because not everybody is going to be on the same timing as you. And I know that I have really amazing friends that wanted to come out here and wanted to make that move as well. And not to say that they won't, but it's just something I really wanted to do. And the timing for me was just already set up in my mind, and the opportunity arose for these jobs. Sometimes you have this idea in your mind of when you're going to be ready or the right time to make that leap. But sometimes an opportunity is going to come at you and you have no choice. You have no time to think. You just have to fucking take it. Because if you don't, that door is going to shut. Not to say other doors won't open, but that particular door, that door that's going to provide you with that opportunity, it's probably not going to be there again. So sometimes you don't have fucking time to think, dude, and you just have to go and do it and fucking make that trip to Austin, make that trip to wherever. And sometimes you have to go and make that leap and just see what fucking happens, dude. And before you know it, you're living it and you're doing it. And yeah, man, it's a crazy feeling. That opportunity is going to come sooner than you think, as long as you just kind of keep hammering, keep moving forward, and it's going to come, man. It's going to come before you know it. And It might be a little bit before you're ready, but you have to make that leap. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to come up and kind of impede your progress. But if you feel something in your heart, it's a feeling that keeps coming. You can't shake it. It's probably something you need to do, man. And so when it comes to jobs elsewhere, I highly recommend getting a job before you move if you can. Sometimes it's not going to work out that way, but apply for whatever it is. Yeah, jump on those opportunities, man. I think being out here alone, it has its pros and cons. Automatic pro is that you don't really have to answer to anybody. Like, you're on your own time. And so I can literally do whatever the fuck I want, barring any finances or anything. But yeah, I can literally fucking be asleep all day and not do shit, and nobody will tell me anything. I can literally fucking walk around ass naked in here if I wanted to. Dude, like, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can cook what you want. You can do whatever you want. At the same time, with that, and then other negative is that you can do whatever you want, because sometimes whatever you want is not the best. I was just talking to my best friend James the other day, and like I said, the pro of being able to do whatever you want and having that freedom, it feels really fucking good. At the same time, if you're not careful, being an introvert, you can go fucking a week or two without talking to anybody. And so it's I've gone through it before. I've lived on my own before, and I've really struggled being alone at times. And so having those experiences and knowing myself now, it's provided me with a framework of what I need to do to kind of remain productive and remain in good mental health. And I have to really try to put myself out there and make sure I reach out to people and do things. Cause yeah, dude, I will go, if I'm not checking myself, I will go a week or two without fucking saying a word to anybody. And that is not good for anybody at any time. Obviously being like isolated for a little bit is really good. It's allowed me to think a lot. And I love that aspect, but for sure it's important to kind of, one of the things about being alone, you have to make the effort to meet people and to do things with people and go out and be social, because it's really fucking easy to just being cooped up in here the whole time, you know? Thankfully, I have a job where I can interact with a lot of people. Like I said, I think I was kind of going through my finances and I was like, oh, fuck, I should have saved a little bit more. But, dude, like, I couldn't, you know, the opportunity arose. So I was like, fuck it, dude, I need to go. And it's going to work out, though. I know it's going to work out. I find myself doing grown-ass shit that I'm not normally used to doing. I'm fucking out here lighting candles. My mom would be proud of me of doing every single dish, not leaving any dishes, keeping a very clean apartment, which I'm a very clean person for the most part. Looking at my bills and figuring out, all right, I'm probably going to write all this shit down in a spreadsheet at some point, because there's a lot of shit you need to do once you're on your own that you're not normally used to doing. And so, yeah, man, it was funny. Like, I was looking forward to paying rent because it feels good, you know, like I'm finally on my own doing the thing. But at the same time, I'm not looking forward to paying rent because it's like, fuck, dude, like just seeing that 1,000 just go in a poof, like it's not something I'm looking forward to. As far as rent, I have other expenses as well. I mean, I'm looking forward to being on my own, man. And that's obviously that's life. That's the price you have to pay for independence and doing well. So I love doing these like personal podcasts, these one-on-ones. I think this was just kind of like a maintenance, just kind of catching you guys up on what the fuck has been going on the past month. It felt like I lived 100 lives in the past 2 months. I will definitely do another one of these soon, and I hope to get a lot of questions from you guys, different topics that you want me to touch on. And yeah, dude, this is the first of many here in Austin, and we are going to keep this thing rolling, man. This was episode 67. Yeah, episode 67 of The Most Vulnerable Player. And I will see you guys next time.